Assalamu alaikum students, how are you? I hope all of you will be fine. So class, today our topic is weather and climate. First of all, we will discuss what is weather. Weather and climate are two different things. Weather refers to the atmospheric conditions in a specific area and time, while climate refers to the typical weather in a region for a long period of time. Okay, student, you should understood the difference between weather and climate. That weather is for a short period of time, for a specific time on a specific area, while climate is a weather for a long period of time over a large area. Now we will discuss the elements of weather and elements of climate differently. Elements means the things from which weather is made. So first thing of weather or the first element of weather is wind. The wind and its movement it's the movement of air in the atmosphere. We measure it with the help of weather vane or anemometer. As you can see, the two different instruments, and these are the instruments called the wind vane also. It is called the wind vane, weather vane or anemometer, with the help of which you can measure the speed of wind. Now atmospheric condition, or you can write atmospheric pressure. Atmospheric pressure is actually the weight of air of the atmosphere. We measure it with the barometer in millibar, means the instrument through which we can measure the atmospheric pressure is the barometer. The third one element is temperature. This is how hot and cold the air is. We measure the temperature with the help of a thermometer, and it is measured in degrees. And you can observe these instruments that is called as a thermometer. Now the next is precipitation, means rainfall, snow or hail. So it's the water that falls from clouds, and we measure it with the help of a rain gauge. And rain gauge is given in the picture as you can see it. And humidity, next is humidity. Humidity is the amount of water vapors in the air, and we measure it with the help of hygrometer. The clock-like instrument you can see in the picture, that is the hygrometer through which we can measure the humidity. Now coming to the climate, we have done the weather and the elements of weather and how they are measured. Now we are discussing the climate. So the definition of climate, we have done it. What is climate? Climate is the condition for a long period of time over a large area, and mostly scientists or meteorologists find out the climate for about 30 years. So what are the factors of climate, factors which affect the climate? To study climate, scientists study precipitation. Precipitation means rainfall, and temperature of an area for a period of 30 years, means these are the two factors through which we can measure the climate. What are these factors? That is precipitation and temperature. The scientists measure these two for 30 years or more and find out the climate of an area. Now latitudes and longitudes. Latitudes and altitudes are the two most important things which can change the climate of an area. So let's know how the latitudes change factors affect the climate of an area. The sun rays are stronger at the equator. That's why equatorial regions are warmer than polar regions. Okay, so the latitude, 0 degree latitudes are the tropical areas, and polar areas are 90 degree towards north or south are polar areas. So it means the temperature at the latitude of 0 degree or equator will be warmer, hot as compared to the polar areas where the temperature is cold. So it means that as you move from the latitude 0 degree to 90 degree, the temperature will decrease. Now altitude. Altitude means increase in height, or as you move above from the earth's surface, that is called the altitude. So the higher a place is above the sea level, means from the sea level you go above to, that is called an altitude. So on the surface the temperature is high, and as you move above from the surface of the earth, you will feel a change in the temperature, that it will become colder. And a simple example you can take, that if you go to any region that is a mountainous region, for example you went to Murray, so you can clearly identify the climate that on the plain area there was warm, and as you enter the mountain and as you go above the earth's surface, it gets colder. So in that way the altitude affects the climate. Okay. Now distance from the sea. Now some areas are those where the distance which are nearer to the sea have different climate, and the places above from the sea have different climate. The sea water heats up and cools down more slowly than the land, means the temperature of land and the temperature of water is different from each other. Land can heat up and cool down quickly as compared to the water. So it means that the lands or the areas near to the sea will have different temperature as compared to the water, so they will receive cool breezes from the sea, and it will affect the climate of that area. You can simply take the example of Karachi, that there they can receive cool breezes from the sea, so their temperature is moderate as compared to Peshawar. The Peshawar is very at a distance from the Arabian Sea, so that's why there the temperature is very high as compared to the city Karachi. Now climate zones. There are 3 climate zones. On the basis of climate there are 3 climate zones, and these are polar zones, tropical zones and temperate zones. Polar zones, they are near the poles and in the mountains. They have low temperatures all year round. The little precipitations they get is in the form of snow. Tropical zones are near the equator. They all have high temperatures but different precipitation. Temperate zones, there are 2 of them on either side of the tropical zone. Their temperature are between 0 degree and 20 degree Celsius, means temperate zone is between the polar zone and the tropical zone. So look at the diagram below. You can easily find out that the red area are the tropical zone, where the temperature is very high because the sunshine is directly affected this area, so the temperature is very hot. Now the blue one is on the south and north pole, that is the polar zone, where the temperature is very low because the sunlight cannot reach that area, and The green area you can observe, that is called a temperate zone, where there is a moderate climate, temperate climate there. So climate change is taking place, that is global warming. At last few decades, human activities have increased the amount of heat trapping gases. This caused the atmosphere to keep the heat in the form of greenhouse gases. That is, carbon dioxide is the greenhouse gas, and it can capture the heat within it, and as more as carbon dioxide, it will capture more heat, and as a result global warming occurs, and this is called the greenhouse effect. Consequences of global warming means difficulties facing by the global warming, that is the warming of Earth's pole make the ice melt. Means first point is temperature will be high due to global warming. Ice will be melted on the polar regions, or glaciers will be melted, which rise the level of our oceans, and due to the rise in level of oceans, the flood will come our coast, and this will affect our area. Second, rising temperature create drought and desert. In some areas drought will be done, and desertification means loss of water will be occur, and plants and animal will not adapt to it, and they will die out. So solution, how we can stop. Solution to climate change means how we can stop global warming, how we can stop the rise in temperature, because this is mostly due to the activities of humans. So possible solution is no deforestation. Deforestation means cutting down of trees. So we have to stop the cutting of trees and plant more trees. If we are cutting one tree, so we have to plant 2 more trees, so that it can renew the plantation. So more plant more trees and plants, and no contamination, and do recycling. Use the recycle the material. If you finished with electricity, you turn off TV and rights. Means we have to take care of the things which we like electricity or the resources of the earth, so that they cannot give up. So that's all about today's topic. Thank you.